Try to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2. 1. Mark.
Hello everyone, my name is Mark, aka Derringer. Today is Sunday, May 17th, and you are listening to episode 261 of the Instant Action Podcast, your weekly source for planet-side news and information. As always, I'm brought to you by great listeners like you via the Support the Show tab on instantactionpodcast.com. So what's been going on with me this week? Another week of pandemic home isolation. But the good news is at least there were outfit wars to watch this weekend, and I watched all of the Emerald outfit wars. I didn't watch all of the other ones, and I apologize to those other servers for not watching them. But the majority of them were the Soltec ones were late Friday night, and then the Cobalt and Miller ones were in the afternoon on Saturday when. My wife and I are doing a ton of yard work right now, so I was on forced yard work duty. So really the only one I could watch in full, because it was a good time for me, was the Emerald one, and I did watch that completely. And then I was exhausted from all the yard work and went to bed right after that and didn't get to watch the Connery ones. But again, at least there was some Outfit War stuff to watch this weekend, which obviously I'll talk about on this week's show. So speaking of this week's show, what is fully in store for the show itself? Well, first, I want to talk about Wrel's comments after the Alpha Cycle 2 qualifiers and see what we can see change for Alpha Cycle 3, assuming that next is going to be an Alpha Cycle 3. Then I'm going to do a deeper dive into the winners and all the different matches of Alpha 2. I've got some stats, just like I did last time, on margins of victory and stuff like that, so stay tuned for that. Then I want to bring people's attention to a way that we all can help fix voice comms in-game. And then I'm going to finish this week talking about PSForever, because they've got something going on this afternoon on the Sunday and also something on Wednesday that some people might want to check out. So strap in as we hot drop into another episode of the Instant Action Podcast. So first up this week, the Alpha Cycle 2 post-qualifiers breakdown Reddit post that Wrel put out. If you didn't get to see that, I will include a link to this in this week's show notes on the website, instantactionpodcast.com. But Wrel wrote that he wanted to share some of their learnings from the qualifier phase and talk about what they'll be doing for the next cycle. So again, it does sound like we're looking at an Alpha Cycle 3 as they continue to iron out bugs. So obviously over the qualifier weekend, they ran 3 days of 8-hour qualifiers, which they did feel was a full-time job for most of the players looking to compete. The pacing of the game became way more intense, they felt, and that was both for better and for worse. And it did showcase some bugs that were aiding outfits that had higher body counts. So again, they did note that even though they made those changes, Zerg fits still did benefit as a result of it. He goes on to point out that one of the takeaways from the outfit recruitment side is that there are a lot of sleazy recruitment practices, those are his words, going on, and they're not actively protecting new players. So they have noted that login recruitment macros have been an issue, but they have not set aside some time to fix that issue. He did state they will be fixing that in a update coming soon. There was no actual time frame for that. So right now, if you are an outfit or outfit leader who has a macro set up that as soon as someone logs into the game, you automatically send them an invite to join your outfit just to boost your outfit numbers, expect to have that fixed coming soon, which is a good thing because obviously these are scooping up a whole bunch of players just joining the game who have nowhere else to go, don't know anything else about outfits on the server that they've chosen, and you're just dumping them into an outfit that probably isn't in their best interest. So good to see that will be fixed sometime in the future. Wrel went on further to say that barring bugs and stuff like that, that the overall feedback was positive, and I mentioned that on last week's show as well. I was talking to some people that were playing for Prey and how they much more enjoyed this qualifying phase for PlanetSide 2 as opposed to the last qualifying phase. And again, it does feel like you're just playing PlanetSide as normal, which was very important for the devs. That's what they're trying to grasp when they put together the Outfit Wars qualifying phase. So they think, and also I think, that they're getting much closer to being on the right track to having the qualifying phase be good and in a good state to be the real thing. So he finished by saying that there are some things that they're looking to do for the next cycle. So obviously, number one is fixing some of the bugs that have cropped up, fixing the login recruitment macro issue, also increasing the amount of score capable of being earned from defenses, also compressing the qualification times a little bit more than what they are now. So maybe we'll only see 2 days instead of 3 days, or I'm not exactly sure what they're going to do. And then the real shocker on this one, and this is something that I have been calling for since day one, and that is splitting off especially large outfits into their own outfit war. So this is the first instance of possibly bracketing outfit wars to based on outfit size. So again, I am 1,000% behind this, because as it stands right now, looking through the qualifiers and the players in Outfit Wars, a lot of them are Zerg fits. And when we actually go into the results, you'll see a lot of those Zerg fits did not fare particularly well in the Outfit Wars Alpha 2. So I'm very excited to see how they split off the large outfits into their own Outfit Wars. So again, just closing what he said, it's important that they want to get these to live for the next cycle. So the big thing is that they need to run a full community playtest before doing so. Obviously, they had the Outfit Wars schedule available on PTS before this second cycle, and some of the bugs that they found would not have shown without a substantial group of players and focused testing. So they want to make sure they do the exact same thing for Alpha Cycle 3. So please watch for the next PTS update before Alpha Cycle 3 and help them with their testing, because that's how we're going to get Outfit Wars into a good place. It's getting there. I think a lot of the changes they made between last round and this round were good, and I'm excited to see how number 3, Alpha Cycle 3, comes out from here. But with that, let's actually talk about the Outfit Wars Alpha 2 results for all servers. So much like Outfit Wars Alpha 1 results for all servers, I did a Outfit Wars Alpha 2 results for all servers, since it was very well received last time around. So I figured I'd get up early this morning and post this information to Reddit as well. I do think that Rogue Planet Games was much better this time around, tweeting a lot of the finals of every match. So if you went onto their Twitter account, you could see how each server's matches ended, who the winners were and stuff like that of each bracket. They were much better at doing that this time around. I'm still surprised that I can't go to the PlanetSide 2 page, planetside2.com, and actually see this information that I put out right now. The top story that comes up is still the Mother's Day appreciation sale, which was last week and is no longer going on. There is a definitive guide to the Outfit Wars Alpha 2 finals, so I'll give them that. And it has the times, who's participating, the rules, everything that you need to know is in that document. But again, I'm surprised that I don't go here and actually see a post saying, here's the winners, here's the losers. Their West Coast, I think somebody should have been able to put that information together. But again, maybe in a non-pandemic world, that's something easy to do. But in the pandemic world that we live in now, with all of them working from home currently, maybe that's a little more difficult. But why gripe about something like that when I can earn free Reddit updates, by doing something as simple as that? So let's go through the various servers and the matches like we did last time. So Soltech obviously kicked off first, and in the gold match, YLBT, or the YLB Hero Army for the TR, won the gold match. You'll note that this is the same outfit that won the gold match on Soltech last time. So big congrats for you guys for defending your title. There was when we get to Cobalt, we'll talk about that one as well. But technically, YLBT was the only outfit to participate in Alpha 1 Gold and win and participate in Alpha 2 Gold and win. So again, congratulations to YLBT. In the silver round, Rave of the NC won, and in the bronze round, RWCN of the TR won. So again, congrats to everybody playing on Soltech. Moving on to Cobalt, the VS Terran Republic. They're the NC outfit. Yes, this is the most hilarious name that you can see. Their tag is VS. Their outfit name is Terran Republic, and they play New Conglomerate. So these guys are all the same people in T, or the Toxic Zerg Surfers. So they're no stranger to making hilarious outfit names, and this is one of the best ones out there, I do have to say. So huge props to them. Again, they were playing NC this time around. They won the gold match. So even though I said YLBT was the only outfit to win both Alpha 1 and Alpha 2, technically these guys play for T as well. So one can argue that they won both times around. They defended their title, but also technically, unless they had played under T and won under T, they didn't technically defend their title. So again, it's a gray area. I still got to give it to them for absolutely dominating the gold round once again. Next, in the silver round, Bros, or the Brutal Onslaught of the Terran Republic, ended up winning. And I'll talk about the silver match a little bit later, because there's also some issues with that match. But then in the bronze match, RE4, the Reapers of the New Conglomerate won. So again, congrats to all the winners on the Cobalt server. Moving on to Miller, Dig, or Dignity of War for the Vanu Sovereignty, won the gold match this round. For the silver match, KOTV, Keepers of the Void for the Vanu Sovereignty, won. And in the bronze match, FRMD, or Formido of the New Conglomerate, ended up winning on Miller. Again, congrats to all those folks. On Emerald, we have a New Conglomerate sweep, much like we did last round on Connery with the TR. So congrats to Voodoo Company for winning the gold round, for 8 seconds for winning the silver round, and KN1, or Neil No One, winning the bronze match for Emerald. Again, an NC sweep on Emerald. And then finally, last but not least, in the gold match on Connery, Recursion, playing Vanu Sovereignty this time around, won the gold match. In the silver match, Fool, or the Goblin Tribe of the Terran Republic, won. And in the bronze match, the final match of the entire Outfit Wars, R18, Renegade 18 of the New Conglomerate, ended up winning on Connery. So again, congrats to all the winners of Alpha Cycle 2. I look forward to Alpha Cycle 3, but again, I know everybody loves stats, so I did put together some stats from this time around again. So the average margin of victory, and I'm defining margin of victory again as the score between the winner of the match and the second place finisher of the match, was 196 points. So this is a little bit higher than Alpha 1. In Alpha 1, the average margin of victory was 116 points. So little more difference between first and second place in Alpha Cycle 2. Moving on, the largest margin of victory, and this is the exact same as Alpha Cycle 1, was the Cobalt Gold match, where VS versus Boys versus TRXF. In Alpha 1, Toxic Servers pretty much ran the table on that one. They ended up running the table on this one again, and actually by an even larger margin. In Cycle 1, they won it by 430 points. In this one, they won it by 462 points. The smallest margin of victory, and probably the exciting game that I have to say that was out there, was the Emerald Bronze match. This was the Can 1 versus 2 RAF versus VCats. Can 1 came from behind and ended up winning it by 6 points. And in this one, Vano Cats were way in the lead for the majority of the match until the TR absolutely took the entire map over, and then NC took the entire map over and ended up winning by, like I said, 6 points. It was a very, very exciting game. I really enjoyed watching. I wish we could have watched it from the beginning, because I think we missed a lot of the VCats rush to control tons of territory and really lock down the entire map. But instead we got to see the 2 RAF and the Can 1 come back from huge deficits to overtake Vano Cats and win in the end. Again, it was really, really exciting match. And the casters doing it were absolutely flabbergasted by it as well. Now, taking margin of victory into account, the brackets with the most exciting matches this time around was the bronze one. Last time it was silver, but this time around it was bronze, and the average margin of victory on these was only 96 points, separating first and second place. And I think a lot of this was dedicated to that Can 1 win on the Emerald Bronze match as well. The highest scoring outfit overall was Terran Republic, VS on Cobalt, the NC players. Again, they had the 462 margin of victory. And again, that one was pretty much a no contest on that one. The lowest scoring outfit, and there's a little bit of a story behind this one, but we do have our first game where an outfit scored 0 points. And that was 91 AR, or the 91st Armored NC Regiment on Cobalt. Now, what I'm hearing has happened on this one, and there is a pretty big apology letter from one of the leaders of 91 AR, and this was from Hamstertron NC. He posted a pretty long apology. Basically, what happened is in the prep phase for the match, they realized that only 3 people were able to get on to Desolation because they had not coded all their players properly for that Desolation access. Because don't forget, one of the changes to Outfit Wars was a special outfit rank that allowed people access to Desolation. So if you didn't set your 48 players to that outfit rank before, they couldn't actually get on Continent. And this kind of fucked 91 AR, because once they realized what was going on, they scrambled to get one of the outfit leaders with permissions on to make the changes. And then since they have so many people in their outfit, this is a large Zerg fit on Cobalt, they were unable, every time they tried to change permissions, the person doing it would crash to desktop. So 91 AR did not participate at all in Outfit Wars Alpha 2, even though they qualified for it and were all set to play in it. So maybe this means the devs are going to have to rethink this, because I guess this is pretty much the worst case scenario of having a special outfit rank for this. Now, granted, last time there was people getting onto Desolation that shouldn't have gotten onto Desolation, so this seemed like the perfect solution to this, but clearly it might not be the perfect solution to this. So Instead, if you were watching the silver match on Cobalt, people got their wish to actually watch a 1v1 match on Desolation between Brutal Onslaught and Trident. Again, Brutal Onslaught did win overall, so there is that. Again, if that's something you're curious, you can go and watch the VOD on that particular one, because, again, all these matches were casted. So then let's talk about how the factions did overall. And hands down, New Conglomerate took the day in Alpha Cycle 2. 53% of all matches, that's more than half of all matches, were won by the New Conglomerate. So a big congrats to New Conglomerate for doing that. TR ended up winning 27% of the matches, and VS only won 20% of the matches. And then when we break it down bracket by bracket, you'll see why NC won a lot of the matches that they did. So in gold, NC and VS each won 40%, TR won 20%. In the silver, NC and TR won 40%, VS 20%. But in the bronze bracket, NC won 80% of the matches, TR only 20. So that's, NC won 4 matches, TR won 1, and VS didn't win any of the bronze brackets. Also, as I said before, NC and Emerald were the only faction to win all 3 brackets on their server. So watch out NC Emerald in Alpha Cycle 3, because I think TR and VS are going to be gunning for you. And then Connery was the only faction where each faction won a bracket, or each server was the only server where each faction won a bracket. If you guys remember Alpha Cycle 1, Soltech was the only server where that happened, and it happened again on Connery. And again, like I said before, YLBT was the only outfit to technically successfully defend their Alpha 1 title. There is the Toxic Zerd Surfers and the VS1, obviously, like I talked about before, which is certainly an argument that you can make. But then I think probably the other feel-good story about this one, Voodoo Company, VCO, they were the only outfit that participated in Alpha 1 and won their bracket, and then moved to a higher bracket in Alpha 2 and won that bracket. And I watched all the Emerald matches, and VCO did a come-from-behind victory as well. On Emerald, 2 out of the 3 matches were they weren't decided until almost the end of the game, because VCO came from behind and won, and also Can 1 came from behind and won in spectacular fashion. But again, Voodoo Company in Alpha Cycle 1, they participated in the silver match. They won the silver match. They participated in Alpha 2 in the gold match, and they won the gold match. So big props to Voodoo Company for doing that. They are the only outfit to move up and win in both Alpha 1 and Alpha 2. So again, big congrats to them. So there's your stats that I've put together. Really, NC, again, took the day, and a lot of that can be directly given to Emerald NC for winning all 3 of the brackets. Again, big congrats to them. I imagine Alpha Cycle 3 that there's going to be a lot of outfits gunning for you guys to stop that from happening again. There's also going to be a lot of VS players unhappy that their outfits didn't participate much better than they could have or should have, or I don't know. Again, only winning 20% of the matches. There's 15 total matches going on, which means VS only won 3 total. TR only won 4 total. So that's the NC won half as many more, twice as many matches than the TR did, and even more so than the VS did. So again, big congrats to NC for the job that they did this time around. And I'm really looking, again, I enjoyed watching, obviously in Alpha Cycle 1, I enjoyed playing and winning. I do finally have my title in game. I'm now a warrior in game, so I do have that. But again, I enjoyed watching these matches because there was some really exciting moments. I watched Kamikaze's stream on this, and I thought he did a really good job casting all 3 of the Connery matches. Again, if you go to planetside2.com, there is a list of all the people who were casting all of these. So if you missed a match or wanted to go back and watch a match, especially that 1v1 match over there on Cobalt for the silver round, that, again, silver round on Cobalt is the 1v1 match on Desolation, if you're curious about seeing how that one played out. I didn't watch it myself, but again, there is that one. And again, planetside2.com, you can get a list of all the casters that are doing it again, and you can go, they all have them out there. You can go and rewatch any match that you are curious in seeing. But with that, let's close the book on Outfit Wars Alpha 2. As I said at the beginning of the show, third topic this week is regarding the in-game comms system. And as we know, the in-game comms system works sometimes, certainly not all the time. I think most people aren't affected by this if they're in an outfit, because your outfit either uses Discord or uses a TeamSpeak server or something, But I think this really affects newer players to the game, people dropping in for the first time or not being part of an outfit, and you have these ways to talk via in-game voice comms, but they're currently not working. So Maelstrom, who I talked about last week, working again on PS2alerts.com, has been in contact with Chris Farrar. He's Rogue Planet Games tech director, and they've put together a Google form survey that they want people to go in and fill out and also gather data regarding the bug to present to Chris, who is, again, the tech director for Rogue Planet Games. I'm going to include a link to this post on Reddit in this week's show notes. Again, go to instantactionpodcast.com and you can see all the show notes, all the links for this week's show, and you can go and take that Google form, and what it's going to do is you'll fill it out, and there'll be a whole bunch of questions that you can answer about, what server you play on, all stuff like that, a scale of how the voice comms work for you. Do they work correctly? How long does that happen before it doesn't work correctly? Does proxy chat work? Again, there's quite a few questions and things to go through, and also test, settings that you can test and change to see if things get better or worse for you. Again, all this information is going to be logged and sent to Rogue Planet Games themselves so that they can fix this annoying issue once and for all. Again, instantactionpodcast.com. You can get the link to take care of this and help out with this as well. But with that, let's move on to our fourth and final topic this week about PSForever. So if you're not familiar with PSForever, this is the PlanetSide 1 emulation project. Right now, the PlanetSide's 17th birthday is basically upon us, and PSForever is putting together a 17th birthday event. There's one happening today, May 17th, and there's also another one happening on Wednesday, May 20th. Most listeners will most likely be able to take care of that, take part in that if they're definitely curious. Excuse me, there's going to be two events. One's going to happen at 1 p.m. Eastern Time and the other at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The link to this that I'm going to include in the show notes has a full setup guide, a beginner's guide, and also ways that you can get access to a spectator camera on PSForever. They made a whole bunch of changes to the game itself. They have a bunch of different servers up now. They have the Core Combat Cavern functionality has been added to the game. So if you really liked the caverns from Core Combat, those are available. There's new sessions in the Empire Sanctuaries. Instant action and recall have been fully implemented. Base destruction and repair is working. Things can now be damaged and destroyed in games. A bunch of different base states are available in game, including disabling spawns, spawn tubes, destroying generators. If facilities run out of NTUs, they'll power down, things like that. They fully implemented base benefits. They've implemented squads, so you can actually join a squad now. They implemented the implants, so you can now change them at terminals, and they also added 3 new implants to go along with the existing ones that are out there. They implemented the max capacitor charge and abilities both into the game itself. They got jammer grenades working, and all different firing modes should be enabled and working now as well. They added a bunch of certifications, including advanced medical, advanced hacking. If you don't remember, hacking was a huge thing in the original PlanetSide. That's not in PlanetSide 2. They fixed a bunch of bugs regarding vehicles, and a whole bunch of other bug fixes went in as well. Note that they do still need people's help regarding this. They're looking for server development, client reversing, a tools programmer, and a database designer. So again, if you have any experience with this and are looking to help, they're looking for more people to help out on this. But again, it seems like we're probably going to miss most of the Sunday stuff if you're listening to this on Monday's show. But if you're curious about it and want to participate, Wednesday is the day to get into that. Again, instantactionpodcast.com will have a link to the show notes, and you can actually go in and read all the changes and how to participate if that's something that you would like to do. With that, though, let's wrap up this week's show and move on to housekeeping.
Hello, housekeeping. Hello. Perfect. Sorry, bro.
So I got another email from Louis this week. Louis clearly is back and playing PlanetSide 2 a lot more than he was in the past. And he writes, "Hey, Mark, I really wish we had more control over squad beacons. There should be beacon permission checkboxes for squad leader only and fire team leaders only. Too many randoms hopping in squad and putting beacons across the map. Maybe I'm just getting trolled. I understand you can do the work around and shuffle the fire teams to kind of get what you want, but mentor squads do not have fire teams, so mentor squads also need fire teams. I do not understand why they don't. It's a really nice feature, and yet you get that feature taken away when you're trying to help new people. I don't get it. Also, next, bring silo locking back. You've heard this from me before. I don't go out and mine Cordium just for someone to place a bunch of unnecessary items in my base that I need to delete to reduce silo drain. Next, I really like the Steel Rain item in the armory. It makes me want more features like it. Maybe some free ones with timers. How about summon your squad into a gal or a Sunday, or force the squad to spawn at the warp gate? Anyways, these are just a few quality of life things that I run into daily in the game." Louis, regarding the squad beacons, I don't have too much issues with the squad beacons themselves, but again, we're not playing in mentor squads. When I'm playing, it's always ops and outfit, related only, and we want everybody to be able to drop a beacon because that's how we enable that we always have a beacon to drop onto. So clearly that's a mentor squad or an open squad issue that not everybody's facing, but I don't necessarily disagree. I'm not going to beat the silo locking dead horse like you just did, because that's, what am I going to say? I also like the Steel Rain item that's in the armory, and I wish more outfits would use it. A lot of times, or the few times that we've used it, we've actually gone, everybody's pulled a max, then they've launched the Steel Rain, and everybody's dropped in a max and a point, and it's a lot of fun. But I don't think a lot of people use it, and I wish they would use it more. I do think summoning to a gal or summoning to a Sunderer or forcing everybody back to the warp gate is also not a bad idea. Maybe that could be some of the future things that the devs are creating for in the armory itself. But again, thank you for that email, Louis. Keep sending them, and I'll keep reading them. But that's going to be it for this week's show. So as always, how can you get in touch with me or the show itself? Your first stop should be my website, which I've been repeating ad nauseum this week, but it's www.instantactionpodcast.com. You can also email me like Louis did at instantactionshow@gmail.com, and I will read that and respond to it on the show. You can also follow the show on Twitter at instactpodcast. But in closing, if you've enjoyed the show, please leave me a review on your podcast listening avenue of choice, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or anywhere else. Also, feel free to tell your friends and outfit mates about the show. But finally, thanks for listening, and keep spamming that Join Combat, formerly known as Instant Action button. Derringer out.